So given that x is 2 raised to power p and y is 4 raised to power q, you've been told to show that log x cubed y to base 2 is equals to 3p plus 2q. So it means you start with what is on the left hand side until you get what is on the right hand side. So on the right hand side, you see it is in terms of p and q, isn't it? When it is in terms of p and q, it means we make p and q the subject of the formula, isn't it? Now the best way you start here, if you have here x is equals to, you have x is equals to 2p. So the best thing you can use logarithms by definition, isn't it? Or you just introduce log on both sides of the equation, isn't it? If you introduce log on the both sides of the equation, you get log x is equals to log 2 to power p, isn't it? See, if you introduce log on both sides of the equation, then the power p becomes the coefficient, isn't it? So when the power p becomes the coefficient, you have log x is equals to p log 2, isn't it? So you divide both sides by log 2 to get the value of p, isn't it? So what is p? This one goes with this, p is log x over log 2. Senior, log x over log, what is log x over log 2 from the laws of logarithm? That is log x to base 2, because we say the base is the log in the denominator, isn't it? Meaning if you have log x to base 2, that is just log x over log 2. Are you seeing that? Or you can use logarithms by definition, isn't it? Using logarithm by definition is like saying when you have 2 raised to power p is equals to x, so p is the index, 2 is the base, isn't it? Then x is the corresponding number. So what is the definition of logarithm? The index is the log of the corresponding number to a given base, isn't it? So what is the index? The index p is the log of corresponding number x to base 2. Meaning you can use it using the laws of logarithms, or you can solve it using logarithms by definition, isn't it? Are we together? So in the end, what have you found? You found that x is equals to 2p, p is the index, meaning p, this implies that p is the logarithm of the corresponding number, which is x to base 2. Then you go to the next one. You have y is equals to 4 raised to power q. Now, from here, what you see here, you can see in this problem, we have base 2, isn't it? Meaning 2 should be the base for everything when you are going to use the laws of logarithm, isn't it? 2 should be the base of everything. But here you have 4, meaning you have to express this 4 in terms of 2 first, isn't it? So this 4, if you express 4 in terms of 2 first, 4 is the same as 2 squared, isn't it? So from here you can see, this is the same as what? This is the same as y is 2 raised to power 2 q, isn't it? So if y is equals to 2 raised to power 2q, it's like saying 2 raised to power 2q is equals to y. So 2q is the index base corresponding number. So the index, which is 2q, is the logarithm of the corresponding number, which is y to base. Are you seeing that? Are we together? So 2q is equals to log y to base, or you simply introduce log on both sides of the equation, isn't it? So that you have log y is equals to log 2 this, then 2q becomes the coefficient, isn't it? Then you make q the subject. So if you make q the subject, c here is base 1, so you divide both sides by 2, isn't it? So you end up with q is equals to a half log y to base 2, isn't it? So in the end, we found p is equals to log x to base 2, and we found the q is equals to y to base, isn't it? So after finding the 2, we now go back to our problem. So our problem, what is our problem? Log, we start with the left hand side of the equation, log x cubed y to base 2. What do we do? When you take the log inside, multiplication changes to addition, laws of logarithm, isn't it? So we have multiplication between the two, isn't it? So when you take log to base 2 inside, we have log x cubed plus log y, same base, isn't it? So if you take log to base 2 inside, you get x cubed, multiplication changes to addition, isn't it? Plus log y, isn't it? Then you remove the power because we have log x to base 2, isn't it? So this power is the coefficient, isn't it? So power 3 becomes 3 log 2 base plus log y to base 2. So what are we substituting? We are substituting log x to base 2 and we are substituting log y to base 2, isn't it? Are we together? So what is log x to base 2? Log x to base 2 is p. So there we are. 3 times p is 3. 3p plus, what is log y to base 2? Or log y to base 2, you see here, you make it the subject of the formula, isn't it? So you multiply both sides of this equation by 2. Then you get 2q is equals to log y to base 2. For you to remove this coefficient, isn't it? So it means where we have log y to base 2, we put 2q, isn't it? So that is 3p plus 2q. So the moment you found what is on the right hand side of the equation, then you've reached the end of the given problem, isn't it? Yes. Good.